There is work to do. Let's see what my touch can do.
Alright, what now?
A jar grants immortality hidden inside a zombie. It's almost poetic. Back.
The penitent looks at you silently. Expect.
Find the boats. You'll find Thrumbo.
You came back. Please, tell me you found a way to destroy Mystic Carrion. What? His rotten heart was inside of me this whole time. Get it out. I have to get it out. That slimy bastard. He hid it in me the whole time. Please, take that foul thing and grind it to dust.
Zahira, Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger. You do not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
Good does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsc and Bo greet cheek with hand.
This mess falls on our heads, Minsc. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened. You mean the doppelgangers? It is no comfort to me that my face made this fool all the easier to lead. The point remains. You meant well, Minsc. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But this is where Minsc falls short of the understanding, Jaheira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Waclaren?
Wiclaren? Minsc, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Bo agrees, you're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsc, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsc does as Minsc does, and charges in to make a mess, Jaheira does as Jaheira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
Is there? Wonderful. Another Minsc in the making.
Ha! Not without a companion, I'm afraid. Boo will ask some of his sewer-dwelling friends.
I am your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo?
I brought my own pairing nut.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally?
Hardly the noblest conflict we've encountered, but criminals will have their squabbles, even in the looming shadow of utter annihilation. What's on your mind?
I don't like getting caught between the Guild and the Zentarim. You always make enemies when you take sides in a struggle like that. And in this case, they're enemies we might not see coming until it's too late.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Minsc is so amazing!
I would be lying if I told you I was certain we would walk out of that temple alive. We faced Baldur once before, and I was not ready to count on luck a second time. but luck had no part in it. Just you. And now it is Gortash's turn. We'll need his stone to finish this. However you plan to acquire it. So let us go pay Lord Lyre a visit.
It is not in a Githyanki's nature to say thank you. Our language doesn't even have a phrase for it. Kraith Khan Jan is the closest equivalent I know. May your enemies know agony. But after releasing me from Orin's grip, there is only one proper response. Thank you. Sincerely. Well, good then. Let's carry on. Is something burden?
Let's talk.
Almost pleasant traveling with company. If you ignore all the...
My friend, now we have settled the matter of the guild. I fear there is something I must tell you. You and Boo both. It may shock you both to know, but Minsc and this Stone Lord, they are one man. The same one man. And that same one man is Minsc. Never has Boo been more proud of my failures. I wish to believe the Stone Lord's evil was the worm alone, attainting my thoughts with foul dung. But I see now, the dung was within Minsc all along. So I wonder, if Minsc can be a villain, and Nine Fingers a hero, must it be so with all creatures? Is there good and evil within us all? Boo calls this nonsense. Less thinking of bad thoughts, says he, and more breaking of bad bones. But still, I would hear what you have to say on the matter, my friend. Even though it led to evil ends. And even the true Jaheira is not always right. She sometimes pets Boo a little too roughly. Or denies him the breakfast broth so that I must dip him in the pot when she looks the other way. I begin to wonder if good and evil is not a thing of knowing. If it is sometimes a thing that Minsc must decide for himself. Alone. Which is why I'm asking you. It is strange. A worm sits within my skull, twisting my thoughts. But it is you that have made Minsc see the world anew. You, my friend, are the true parasite. There is good and evil in all. Let us go crack villainous skulls, so that the virtue might leak free. Yes, Boo. I am becoming something of a philosophizer. Boo is overjoyed with our victory. Another den of evil vanquished, and an old foe defeated. Well, Viconio was a friend for a short time beforehand, but then a foe once more. Yes, Boo. a most wicked witch. The very mention of her name gives him nightmares to this day. Those words are more soothing than the salve Minsc applies to the places the armor chafes. You are a kind and gentle soul. You hear what our friend says, Boo? Viconia is gone for good this time. I am sorry, Boo! I will stop up my clumsy mouth and would tear out my hair if any remained. My old friend Keldorn told me that the righteous must end their rage when the battle is done. But when Minsc thinks of those villains tormenting our gentle moon witch, he wants to kick them in the cloisters. Not just safe. She is among friends. Minsc is her friend. You are her friend. And, most important of all, Boo is her friend. I do not know all of those words, but it is clear that Boo likes Shadowheart best of all. A little too much, perhaps. It is good that Minsc is too reasonable to ever become jealous. Boo has said it is unkind to speak behind the backs of some of our companions, and unwise to say certain things to their faces. Ah, the Great Blade of Frontiers! A fine name. Minsc has no idea what it means, but it suits young Will's air of mystery well. It is good to know the city did not go unprotected while I wore pigeon droppings on the wide. Jaheira did her part, of course, but she prefers to scowl from the shadows. The city needs a name, a face, preferably a furry companion, too. Ho ho ho! Minsc would need a title to match. Something to wash away the Stone Lord's stain. The Boot of Backsides, perhaps? Or... Ay, Boo! Evocative, but so crude. I will stick to simple Minsc. I do not wish to speak of the wizard. I could not have said it better myself. He came to me one night with a little book of mischief, full of words and their meanings. Posterior, he says. Can you say posterior? I refused. Minsc does not need to know the language of wizards. It is an inferior word, far too long to use in a battle cry, which is where a butt belongs. Gale would do better to educate himself in the ways of sword and steel than to throw these pointy words at Minsc. Ah, yes, Gale also owns a cat. A cat with wings. That is most unnerving for poor Boo. What? That is 1,000 times more interesting than anything that has ever been written in a book. Gale! My good friend! Where are you? Minsc and Boo would like to hear about the exploding! Another ball spawn buried by our hand. Ball should learn better than to send his offspring against us. They might as well be babes, dropped bare-bottom into the Rashiman winter. Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends? Then you have a sword at your side and a hamster at hand, whenever you need them. Unless I die. Or you die. Or you do anything at all to upset Boo. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through? Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough? Can you not? Do you not see his noble bearing? The deep wells of wisdom that are his eyes? Boo speaks of much. Perhaps one day, you will be ready to listen. Boo has a way with words that we lack. All that space in the cheeks, I am thinking. How dare you? Minsc pretends at nothing, half the way or otherwise. There is more than a little to know, I think. I am huge. Oh, my friend. There is much more to know of Minsc's homeland than he could ever put into words. Boo might fare better, but his home is far stranger again. Well, in many ways, it is the very opposite of this city. The far side of Faerun, with empty plains, white forests, and peaks that pierce the very belly of the sky. But it is like the city too. Here, it is loud with the daily wailing of people. In Rashomon, it is also loud, if you know where to listen. The Telthors, guardian spirits of every root, rock, and tree. Here in the Sleeping Lands they are silent, but in the far north, they know how to speak still. The first time, my Dajema, a warrior's quest of proving. Minsc quickly proved that quests do not always go as the stories say. After wandering a ways, and some savings of the Sword Coast, Minsc returned to Rashomon to find a welcome fit for hamsters and heroes. The Iron Lord himself came to bear witness to Boo. Minsc of Rashomon, said he, your Dajema is done. Minsc politely disagreed. Dinah here was dead, and so his Dajema could never be done. Then swear your service to me, Minsc of Rashomon, said he. Serve your land as your lord's chosen champion. Minsc politely disagreed. It was a little awkward, but he had already sworn his service to Boo. Minsc of Rashomon, said he. You insult your Iron Lord. We will settle this matter in the circle of combat. It was only polite for Minsc to agree. After they carried the Iron Lord away, the Council of Witches gave Minsc a pack of provisions and said it would be best if he continued his adventures for a time. Yes, Boo, that was before we were stone. Perhaps we are due a little homecoming when all of this is done, no? Such a skeptic, my friend. Minsc cannot prove the point to you, for the Telthors of this land lie sleeping. And for this, we had best be glad. In Rashomon, a Telthor is wind and snow and soil. In Baldur's Gate, it would be stink and stain and a far less pleasant type of soil. If my meaning is not clear, just check under your boot. As you wish. Boo, do you have much to say on the matter of something else? Oh? The mind of Minsc is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface. A lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsc, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsc you have seen to cause you such wonder. My pants. Thrice laced, in the Rashomar style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches too. They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsc. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots. Well, as have you, no? Do not forget that when you gaze into Minsc, Minsc also gazes into you. We both fight evil, wherever it is found. The who and where are less important than the hamsters you meet along the way. On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no? Exactly so. If I must peer into the mind of my enemy, I use an axe. For friends, there is ale. No, my friend. If you fear you have a question that Minsc cannot answer, then you can simply ask Boo. Fine lodgings you have found, my friend. Boo is already in negotiations with the guardian spirits of this place. In Baldur's Gate, they are likely to be rat-formed and eager to charge rent. But Boo shall secure safe slumber for all. Now, what do you need of Minsc?
The cub speaks. Not so much a term of age or affection as simple old habit. You object? The cub and the crow. Sounds like a cautionary tale, as it probably should. You're sure?
Is something burdening? It is done. Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
looking ahead.